Okay, so this is gonna be part two to the leadership in the NBA situation, but specifically, I want to talk about the propaganda campaign that's going on in Charlotte. Now, y'all know that the Hornets signed Gordon Hayward, right? Well, it's a no-brainer, unless you'll be living under a rock. He's already been signed since the offseason. Now, I remember critiquing Hayward's bad leadership, and it really showed again. Do you know that in one of Hayward's blogs, he mentioned that the reason he came to Charlotte is because so he can be the number one option and take all the shots. Funny that you did that. Like, let me separate the picks difference for you. Both LaMelo and Gordon Hayward were lottery picks. Hear me out. Gordon was drafted in the 2010 draft with DeMarcus Cousins and so on, guys. Gordon was a 9th overall pick. You feel me? Number 9. Number 5 and 4. Ninth overall pick. By the Utah Booty Butt Giants. AKA the Utah Forever Splash now. But they're going to be the Utah Booty Butt Giants when you see them in the playoffs. But we're not going to talk about that. Now, the question here is this. It's not about the Utah Jazz because, you see, every team has had a constructed leader. I remember saying that LaMelo has that LeBron and Curry effect on their team. You can go and research value over replacement player, and you get my point. And I feel like in my next segment, I'm going to talk about the value of replacements, maybe like a quick segment to talk about the value of a replacement player percentage for either Hayward and LaMelo. And we're going to see which one, because the value of a replacement player actually determines if you're really that valuable. So, the issue is Hayward a good leader? I really asked the question. Hayward is not a leader. A team is a group of people working together to achieve a common goal. And shout out to Rap God Reloaded, the Hornets are not a team. They're too isocentric. Now, the Nets, that is the ISO gang, the ISO gang Nets, would still crush the Hornets. Why? Because Steve Nash got them playing team basketball. He didn't, even though he was a point guard in his whole career, he was basically a version of Lonzo, where he didn't until he got to a coach that believed in him and unleashed him, he succeeded. He used the strategy, instead of being James Borrego all over again and trying to make everybody do whatever the fuck they want. What he did is, he made Kyrie Irving a third option, which to me just makes a fairly weird option. Like, this is it. Whenever it's KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, Kyrie's a third option. KD's a number one option, obviously. But sometimes KD is also a second option. So it's mostly James Harden, the number one option. KD, second option. And James Harden and KD rotate at times. Then you have the third option be Kyrie Irving. Kyrie was just like Gordon Hayward. Now hear me out. Kyrie left Cleveland. You see, the thing is, I can sympathize with Kyrie. I can sympathize with the dude. I sympathize with him because, come on, the Cavs are trash. The best player they have is LeBron James. King James. Okay? The best player they have is LeBron. No LeBron, they're done. It's fucking simple. You don't have LeBron, it's raps. You don't have anybody else, it's raps. I'm not a Hornet fan. I'm a Raptors and a Laker fan. And my favorite team is gonna whoop the Hornets' ass. Just an early prediction. I had to really jump the prediction so that I will really do my full-on analysis. So prediction for tonight's game will be the Lakers will win. It it might even be a blowout, but it'll be a W. It might be close, but the next game that the Hornets will play, they're gonna take a L. The Clippers game, they're gonna take a L because it's that bad. You see my point? They're gonna take a L. They're gonna go on a losing streak in the gauntlet of the West. So the gauntlet of the West, they're gonna go on a losing streak. You think Denver is bad? Wait till you see what happens tonight. LaMelo have 2 homecoming games. Homecoming game 1 is tonight. Homecoming game 1 is against LA tonight. Then you have another LA team in the Clippers, and you're gonna have homecoming. The question will now be, because remember, the Lakers is actually the main homecoming game for LaMelo because he's from California, so you know how that is. Actually, he's from Anaheim, so you know how that shit is gonna go. Now, the real question here is, what the fuck is JB thinking? You literally sat LaMelo down for a long period of time, gave him 22 minutes. I don't understand. Like, this normally I've seen, you see, I live by a certain code when it comes to sports, and I use this code, and I want y'all to memorize it so that y'all will not be surprised by any propaganda about a rookie whenever they're sabotaging a rookie. Okay? Let me teach you. I'm going to teach you. Part 1 is the introduction or the basics. Part 1 of a season in any team sport, make sure it's known. It always tells you what the team is about. It already tells you what the team has the potential to do. That's why you see LaMelo scoring 30, 40-point games. 30, 20-point games. You've seen him getting a triple-double. Yeah, getting a triple-double coming off the bench. Yeah, that's what the Hornets are capable of. Now, part 2 of the season is the revelation, where you really see what the team is doing. According to Rev, there was a propaganda campaign for Hayward. Are we surprised? Like, even I'm like, am I surprised? I'm not fucking surprised. I'm not surprised that Hayward got a propaganda campaign for him, where they're like, without Hayward, we would have beat the Jazz. With Hayward, we would have beat the Jazz, but without him, we lost. The most impactful player on that team is LaMelo. Just like Curry, the Warriors without Curry are trash. Remove Curry off that team. Let's say Curry is sidelined. Without Curry, the Warriors are trash AF. They don't even have Clay. Think about it. They don't even have Clay on the squad. Without Steph Curry on the squad to really, really lead. Without Steph Curry leading the squad and telling the team what the fuck to do. Without Steph Curry being in charge, the Warriors ain't shit. And don't give me they had KD one time, or they had without Curry, KD, and Clay. No, Curry alone is the Golden State Warriors. You see, the reason why the Warriors are winning is because of Curry. I'm a Curry fan, but I don't give a fuck. That's a living fact. Without Curry, the Warriors are only 1 for 5. Without Curry, KD, and Clay, they're just 3 and 4. Or 2 and 3. Without now I'm talking about 2016 season. Now let's bring this season. Without Curry, Wiseman, and Draymond, that same record still holds. when it's without Curry, Clay, and KD. Now let's remove just Curry and see how Draymond and this guy survive. I guarantee you the Warriors will be getting blown out, regardless of Draymond being on the court. They'll be getting blown off the court. I'm gonna see you next year. Yeah, they're getting kissed off the court. That's how bad they are without Curry. Now same with the Hornets. Now I don't wish injury on Melo, but until Melo gets sidelined for a certain amount of games, then we will know who the franchise player is. Because when Melo gets sidelined, when Melo gets a sideline shit, when Melo gets sidelined, it's wraps for everybody. You see all that bullshit Borrego wanna pull? It will be exposed. Because this guy is already solidified that he's the franchise player. He is that man. It's not Hayward's team. It's Melo's team. I'm sorry. You see, one thing the Ball brothers, specifically LeVar, instill in his kids is a sense of ownership. Don't have a mindset where you have this thing. You see, LaMelo is basically a living proof of what LeVar excelled into his kids and what LeVar has been saying. Because seeing LaMelo do great is really bringing a smile to LeVar and just looking at making. That's why you see that he's not really saying much, because LaMelo's still hooping despite what the coach is doing. In the first part of the season, remember I talked about the first part being the basics. You see LaMelo having great nights, career high nights. Now you see that the second half of the season, we see the revelation go on. After All-Star Weekend, what do you see? LaMelo's points is drastically reducing. His numbers and assists reducing. Why is that? His minutes reducing. It's very simple. They played Nick Richards, Vernon Carey the previous game. This game, it's just this Lakers game. Just pray for LaMelo to be safe. His homecoming, well, you know it's gonna be raps for this kid. The Lakers ain't fools. They ain't all the other teams they're playing. They'll pull a playbook from the Spurs, which is Operation Injure Melo. Because they know. Look at the Spurs. The Spurs knew who the real best player is. Why do you think the Spurs decided, okay, let's just focus, let's just attack Gordon Hayward? They attack Gordon Hayward, LaMelo would have a 40-point game. But they let everybody take shots. You see, this is the thing with Borrego. Why I hate the dude. It's because he can't think for himself. How the fuck are you a coach? You cannot piece together something like, dude. I thought as human beings, whenever we learn from something, we look at what really worked and use it consistently. That's what the Nets are doing. The Nets, as isocentric as they are, they're using what works, and it's helping. That's why you see James Harden as a ball handler. He's the playing point guard, because it works. If you tell Gordon Hayward to be playing point guard, when you drafted a point guard, you just made a mistake. And don't bring me Wiseman and all that shit that they're in. Out of these rookies, you know, it has really came down to 3 people with the Rookie of the Year. If I was to include one more, I'll bring Emmanuel Quickly. I'll bring LaMelo Ball. Then I'm bringing. I don't want to bring Tyrese Halliburton, but I might as well put it because he's under contention. Then you have Anthony Edwards. Those 4. They're in the top run for it. Here's why. Quickly is doing such a great thing as a rookie. You see, the second half of the season is getting a green light. You're seeing more from him, but you're seeing less from Melo. You're seeing not seeing. You don't even see Airbnb no more. You don't see the announcer be like, Miles. You don't see them screaming Melo's name and say, got it, like you hear before. It's because Borrego took out fun out of basketball. You took out what worked. There's always quotes like, you don't throw the same pitch, but the main quote of the day is when, let me restructure it for y'all. The main quote of the day is this, is that one man's meat is another man's poison, but the real thing is not one man's meat is another man's poison. Because I'm gonna analyze it for y'all to figure it out. You see, JB is the only NBA coach that I know that goes to what's broken and use it after beating a team with a different strategy that worked. Look at what happened when they won in the first few seasons, in the first few half of the seasons. Whenever they win against a good team with a good strategy, they go to what's broken. The only reason why they won against the Kings is because the Kings don't know how to close out games. And Fluke Walton is a terrible coach. And reason number 3 is because the Kings only focused on one guy. They focused on Hayward, and it didn't help them for long because you know Melo, how he is. But what also harmed the Kings, like look at this, Del Curry of all people, Steph Curry's dad. Remember, Wardell himself is actually a Hornets fan. Let me keep it real for y'all. Wardell Curry, the number 30 in Golden State. As much of a fan of he is of his Golden State Warriors team playing for them, he's a Hornets fan. He says, like I will say it again, he watches the Hornets for 2 reasons: to roast his dad and watch LaMelo ball. No one cares about your goddamn Hornets team, Michael Jordan. No one cares. Even Steph Curry of all people, whenever he's not in the game, watches LaMelo ball. Because he know what's up. Draymond Green said LaMelo's a problem. That Jordan drafted right. Okay, Jordan drafted right for the first fucking time in his entire management history and doesn't know what the fuck to do with the rookie. He has to earn his minutes. Oh, he has to earn his jersey number. Why do you think Puma don't want to promote this guy? It's not just because of that. It's because it's MB1. No one cares about MB2. It even pisses me off just to hear MB2. What the fuck is MB2? It's MB1. That's all we know. Switch jerseys. Give Malik Monk the number 5 jersey he deserves and give LaMelo his number 1 jersey. That's what we need. Malik Monk wearing number 1? Come on, cuz. The fuck is that? Now, I don't know why I'm doing the jazz hands and all that shit. How am I gonna say this? Okay. Y'all won't mind if I really explain something with this team, right? I will say it again. A team is a group of people working together to achieve a common goal. Now let me deconstruct the word. Working together to achieve a common goal. Majority of time, anyone ever see the Hornets actually work together in JV strategy? Because our system, I'm evaluating roster. What the fuck do you mean by evaluating roster? Your rising star putting stats like a monster. Everybody even want to see the team win. Everybody want to see Melo play. That's the reason why we watch all the way, man. It's that simple. What do you mean by evaluating roster, man? I made that freestyle. I don't. That was the freestyle I wanted to show because I was literally dissing JB. How his idiot ass is still evaluating roster. You're evaluating roster. You can't play Vernon Carey. You see what I want Vernon Carey from Vernon Carey, Nick Richards through JB is rotate the starts for the big men because we need to know who Melo fits better with. Because when you trade for a new center, you gotta get rid of Bismack Biyombo and Cody Zeller. They gotta go. They don't add any value to the Hornets. Cody and Bismack leave. We don't need you on the team. You suck. You're boo boo. It's simple. It's getting to the point where I'm getting frustrated just watching this team. I'm getting frustrated seeing that they're not implementing what works. I've said it that JB is the only coach this season that doesn't use what works and goes back to what's broken. So that means the quote for the day is that if it ain't broken, don't fix it. But with JB, he fixes what's already working. So the quote of the day is, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. If it's broken, fix it. The issue is, even though he fixes what's broken, he still goes back to what's broken and brings what's broken to what works, and then it gets mixed up. This is what we see when it comes to people whenever they come to overseas. No disrespect, man. We try to implement our own strategy to another strategy and it doesn't work. I'm specifically talking in an athletic manner though, specifically because when you look at what JB's doing to LaMelo, that propaganda campaign the Hornets are doing is gonna come back and bite them. Look at when they try to make us see that Steve Kerr, yes, I meant to say Steve Karen, aka Steve Kerr, was a good coach. They try to sell us that shit. Where are your Warriors now? 9th seed, right? Y'all gonna make the play-in tournaments, light work. But the question would be, will y'all win a championship coming from a play-in tournament? Curry's out here carrying the Warriors, man. In his back. His back is aching. He's 33. He just turned 33 on the 13th. Yeah, and I was just 21 yesterday. How about that? Because there's a real dichotomy with how this coach is, and it's like I see different types of coaches. There are three styles of coaches. There's the financial guru type coaches, the ones that cares about the money and does things for the sole purpose of as long as it'll bring the team more profit. Then you have the tactical coaches who are good at rotations and everything. Then you have the ones, because the first aspect of coach is known for analytics. They look at analytics and what helps the team. The second coach looks at the tactics and say, the second type of coaches actually look at what works for them and use it. But the third type of coach, which Borrego falls in, I call them developmental coaches, but Borrego's a trash developmental coach, but he still counts in this one. Then you have the development coaches, who are just known to develop players, but they're not good at managing a team. Tell me this. You got LaMelo shooting a set shot when he first started his season, right? Okay, good. That was a good thing you did. You made LaMelo doing good on defense. But here's where you messed up. You see, LaMelo has the potential to be a lockdown defender within 2, 3, 4 years. He has the potential. But the thing, because look at this, and this is why I say he has the potential. Look at Lonzo. What was the weakness that was highlighted for Lonzo? He wasn't known for defense. Them scouts. But the draft report said otherwise. You see, LaMelo has the potential to be a defender like his brother is. So all that bullshit about he can't play defense right now, it's gonna be crossed out. We said that about Lonzo's rookie season, and Lonzo was doing good. In Lonzo's year with LeBron, where LeBron was on the team, we see a different pattern. We see how Lonzo's actually doing good. You feel me? We see how Lonzo is improving and setting the tone. But the issue is that Van Gundy wants him to be more of a spot-up shooter, which he isn't. Like, at some point in your life, you're gonna get used to being the point guard. I want a team for Lonzo where Lonzo can be a point guard and be himself, be a traditional point guard. Because that's what he is. He's a Magic Johnson, John Stockton like guard that's focused on getting everybody going, and he's an old school point guard. That's Lonzo. He's an old school point guard in the era of the all-around point guard. Everybody else, right, are doing far better on that team. Now back to Melo. They gotta get rid of James Borrego. Period. I don't care if you're gonna be in the East. You see that record they have, that 6 seed, is a mirage. Let them go on a losing streak around the West and tell me whether they will still keep that record. They'll be sinking down the conference very easily. Oh, they're 20-18. Really? Let them add the game against Denver. They're now 20-19. Now let's see what the fuck you want to say. Now let's bring down the game against the Lakers, which they'll lose. Now they're 20-20. Now let's bring the Clippers, which they'll lose again. Now they're 20-21. Now let's see what the fuck you want to say. Now let's say Melo gets injured tonight and they go on a losing streak. Now let's see what the fuck you're gonna say, Hornets fans. Let's see what you're gonna say. Let's see what your excuse is now gonna be. Is it gonna be, oh, we don't have a good big man? We don't have a leader that can protect the paint? You don't have a leader. You see, what the Hornets need in the player section is a new small forward that can replace Hayward. They need someone at the small forward position that can play better than Hayward, that plays well with LaMelo. And they need somebody that can protect the paint. They have the guys to do the job. They're not getting the runs they deserve. Nick Richards was drafted for defense. Vernon Carey was drafted for defense, rebounding, sharpshooting, everything. Nick Richards is an all-around center. The only difference is passing is not his thing. Like, Nick Richards is that kind of big man, you know, like that Shaquille O'Neal big man where you have to pass him the ball and just let him do his thing. That's Vernon Carey. Pass him the ball, let him do his thing, and that's it. Nick Richards, on the other hand, same thing, but he can play better defense. Like, I'll call Vernon Carey a sharpshooting Shaq because he can play defense in the paint, he can rebound, and passing is not his strong suit, but at least he helps with the rebound, because that's what the Hornets need. Someone that can just grab boards. That's it. Now for the Pelicans, please just get rid of Zoe. And it's still free Melo. We need Melo out of Charlotte. Maybe not this year, but after his rookie contract is done, just get him out of Charlotte, please. I don't want to see, because Charlotte has shown that they don't care about LaMelo. It's either you fire James Borrego or you get rid of LaMelo. One of them's got to go. LaMelo's making shit work, even in a team that doesn't fit him. When with a coach that have the brain cell of a little incel to not think for himself. They're gonna lose tonight. And I'm not gonna be surprised because I'm rooting for the Lakers. I know the Lakers are gonna win. If they lose, if the Lakers lose, fine. But I know the Lakers are gonna blow them out. It's gonna be a blowout. If it's not a blowout, the Lakers will still win. But the Lakers are gonna blow them out. Because why? You see, just like the Nets, you see the Nets are isocentric. But the Nets are cohesive more than the Hornets. And I'm talking about the ISO gang Hornets. I mean Nets. My bad. The ISO gang Nets. You see the Hornets, 90% of the damn team wants to dribble the ball and pass the debt and pass to whoever they want. Oh, the kid has to earn everything. Earn what? What does he have to earn? I thought being a point guard is about getting everybody going and doing what you need to do on the court. Getting everybody in rhythm. That's what the point guard is about, right? But it's funny. JB is not letting him do that. What JB is letting LaMelo do. See, let me tell you. I'm going to tell you all the Ball brothers playing style for you to actually do it. LaMelo has the potential to be a two-way playmaking shot creator later down his career. Wow. Lonzo's a two-way slashing playmaker. A two-way slashing playmaker. Because y'all think Lonzo can slash to the basket. Okay, let's remove slashing playmaker or slashing out of it. Because Lonzo don't slash no more. That was his playing style back in LA. Now he's just a two-way playmaker. That's it. LaMelo's a playmaking shot creator. Lonzo's a two-way playmaker. Wow. Jello's a 3-and-D wing. What JB needs, I mean, it's not JB. What Van Gundy needs in Lonzo is what is what Jello has, and that's what Van Gundy wants Lonzo to be. But what Lonzo is, what rookie summer league Lonzo is what JB wants LaMelo to be, and that better not happen. You cannot try to turn the Ball brothers into something they're not. Don't turn them into something different from themselves. It's just bullshit, man. Just bullshit. So honestly,